Hi there, I'm Monica Weitzel, the host of Community Hotline. Tonight's show is a special version called The Pulse, where we explore all things MetroEast. It's our chance to keep you up to date on what's happening with us, new programs, partnerships, and opportunities. This episode, we'll take the opportunity to toot our own horn when we tell you about a media conference we attended where MetroEast took a huge share of awards. Then we'll talk with some very talented young women who attended the POW Girls Camp here at MetroEast. We'll get to see some of their work and find out what it was like to screen their films at the POW Fest Film Festival. All that and more coming up here on Community Hotline. Hi, welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we are here at the special version of Community Hotline called The Pulse. With me tonight, my co-partner here, my colleague, my cohort in crime is Taj Middleton. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to come here. I promised myself that I would speak low, quietly. Well, low is going to be as quiet as I go. Well, yeah. I don't know.
Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
Don't make no bets on this.
It's nice to have you here.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? It's nice to be here, and it's nice to talk about all of the fun things that we have going on here at the station. And summer is coming.
Soon. It's been really nice. You know, we've been, you and I especially have been really busy, especially working on partnerships.
Yes.
And John Lugton has also been helping us on that, and some assistance from other members of the staff. But
yeah.
We have some really great partnerships going on with the community here. So one that we're involved with was the Friends of Nadaka. And Nadaka Nature Park. Great park. Yeah, out in East County, right there on Gleason. And I think we have some pictures of it too, and I'd love to see some of those. This is like one of their community gardens, one of the plots in their community gardens, and they still have some spaces available there. But they have this grand opening after 10 years of planning. They have this grand opening there. So look at that. I mean, how fun the kids are having there, and it's right in the center of town. So it's a great thing. That's Mario Palmero, the city councilman for Gresham on the left there with his son.
Yeah.
And then on the right is somebody from the Audubon Society bringing
an owl.
Yeah. It was a really great.
Oh my goodness, how nice.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So MetroEast was there. We did a promo for them, and we've been involved as one of the partners in that, it's been really fun. But we've had a lot of other partnerships too.
Yes, absolutely.
Oregon Humanities, you were quite involved with that.
That was the Conversation Project,
right.
And that was a fun project. Like I said, I get excited and I want to get loud because it's so exciting. So with Oregon Humanities Conversation Project, there was a gentleman, Todd Sloan, who is a professor at PSU. And he came in and had a conversation with first a group of high schoolers and second with a group of part of our Spanish speaking community.
Right.
And the whole content of the discussion was technology and the family. So how is technology affecting your family?
Like when you're sitting there at the dinner table and everybody's texting
Pretty much,
away,
yeah. When you go out to dinner to have a good time with your family and everybody's on their
but it was not just a negative, but also how it positively impacts.
Exactly, how it positively impacts everything technology. There's some of the photos there. And those were the Cal kids, actually.
From the Center for Advanced Learning?
Yeah, Center for Advanced Learning. They came over and they actually ran the control room. They did the producing. Nice. There they are right there. So they ran all the technical and what have you, and then some of the students were a part of the conversation as well. This is the Spanish Conversation Project that we had. It was a lot of fun, packed full of people. We had food, and that is Seth and Todd there. Seth is without the glasses, the tall, two
Yes,
tall
yes.
guys in the back.
And he'll be on the show later, too.
And he will be on the show later, absolutely. But those are some of the participants, and there's an empty studio.
There you go.
And they did such a great job with the lighting and the just everything. The conversation with the Cal students will air, but we did not record the one, the Spanish-speaking one.
That was just for the community, for them to get involved in. That was great. Another thing, speaking of youth, we're going to be talking a little bit more about POW Fest and POW Girls coming up later in the show. We have a couple of the girls who were part of a high school camp thing that we had here, and we're going to be talking with them and find out about their foray into learning all about video and filmmaking. So that'll be something to look forward to. So volunteers, you're like you're our director of volunteer services. So tell us what's going on in the volunteer world. You can dance if you want.
I'm just so excited. I'm sorry.
That's not one of the classes we offer here.
No, I do not offer a dance class, but I can. Happy dance classes.
Sure you could.
But we have such great volunteers here, and it's just so fun to work with all the different people that come in here. Anywho, the volunteer spotlight, Miss Neri Reyes is one of our volunteers that we did a spotlight on this month. And she's a board member. Yeah. She's a longtime producer here. She does El Programa Latina. And we actually did a nice little volunteer spotlight of her. El Programa Latino, sorry.
Yes. I know, it's easy to
I saw it in your eyes. I made a mistake. No. So let's watch her.
Okay, let's go take a look at Neri. Yeah. All right, thanks.
Our show is about giving information to our community, especially the Latino community in their own language. We thought it would just be information, but then we were like, well, we can do more than that. Not just give them the information, but also have entertainment. My passion to do this program is about helping people. I've been working in the community more than 24 years already, and I have seen the need. And to me, it's a super valued thing that I can give them. El Programa Latino has opened a lot of doors for a lot of different people who has come in and helped us. And we are always looking for volunteers. So you are so welcome to come and join us or learn about what we do here.
Neri's great, isn't she?
She is, and she's always a joy to work with. Yeah. She's always just a ball of energy, and she says she's been working with the community for a long time. She is passionate about the community.
And she was talking about they come in and help her, and to do that, people just need to come to our orientation. We have the classes. Tell us about the classes that we have here, the workshops.
Well, first of all, we have a big change with our class fee structure. We have what we call the all class pass. And that means that all of our classes, all you can eat, everything you can take for up to a year, full meal deal is $25. So you pay a one-time $25 fee and you can take our field class, our editing classes, our studio classes as many times as you need to for up to a year.
Yeah, and people do that sometimes. Yeah. They'll take, say, an editing class and they use it for a while and think, I forgot something, and you go back and take it again. And so it's a great deal.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But it all starts with the orientation, so we invite people to come, free orientation every month. And they can just go to our website or call us and we can get them set up.
Call Etsy at the front desk.
That's right.
Or walk in, have a conversation with me. Then we'll put you in the orientation. There's so many different ways to
be involved.
To be involved, absolutely.
Now, as a volunteer or as a staff person, we're always creating videos, and some of them are really good. And there was a conference recently, which was all about media.
That is true. But you know what, though? Actually, we're going to talk about training.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about training first. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Seth and Lauren, And Seth, we're actually going to talk to later about Best of the Northwest. But Seth and Lauren did a nice training video just to kind of remind people of some of the great resources we have here at MetroEast.
Okay.
And so let's take a look at that.
Okay.
I haven't seen it all.
Oh.
Welcome to the MetroEast Training Update. My name is Seth Ring, and this is Lauren Coulter, and we're just going to fill you in on some of the educational opportunities that we have here available for you.
Among the many great services that we offer here at MetroEast is a set of monthly classes to teach you all different aspects of television production, including studio production in our 2 great studios, field camcorders that we have available for you to use, and editing using Final Cut Pro suites like the one that you see right behind me here. Our classes are fun, they're fast, and they're cheap. You get lots of hands-on practice, you meet nice people in the classes. They're relatively short, so in just 6 hours over 2 classes, you can be using the cool equipment like you see behind me here, and they're cheap. We offer something called the All Class Pass, which is a $25 annual fee that lets you take as many of our classes as you want for up to a year, including the editing class, where we've developed a bunch of materials for you to help kind of augment your learning, including printed materials that you'll get in the workshops, and also sets of kind of practical hands-on exercises, which Seth has a little more information about.
Yeah, so we designed these specifically to be introductory for people. One of the things that you commonly do is cut together an interview. So we actually have an interview with Emily. She's actually the director of Community Hotline, and she's going to talk about editing a little bit. You're going to see that in the next clip here. So, but commonly you have to cover up little, they're called jump cuts, where somebody's talking and you don't want to have all that audio in between, and you cut that audio out, but otherwise you'd have like a twitchy head in between. This way we can cover it up with something like this. We can cover up that jump cut and make it look seamless. So check out the next clip. Thanks.
My name is Emily. I'm a producer here at MetroEast, so I do projects that could be anything from shooting to editing, script writing, a little bit of everything. Editing is the process of taking the footage that you've shot and taking it back into the computer and cutting it together in post to create a piece. That's really the nuts and bolts, but then aside from that, you're making all of these creative decisions. So you're deciding what to put where, what kind of music you want to put on, the style, the pacing. There's really an art to it as well as a science. When I review the footage, I usually go through, and as I see something that I like, I give it a star. So I can always go back and find those clips that I like, and it's a really easy way to go through and glean the good stuff from the stuff that I'm not going to use. By the time I've gone through it a couple times, I'm pretty familiar with it, and I know how to go back and grab stuff that I want. You know, every good story has to have a beginning and a middle and an end, and the pace has to be good, and that's really what you're doing with editing, is you're taking what you have and deciding what's relevant to the viewer, what story should be told. By what you leave in and what you take out, you're giving the viewer a window into this subject. It's really a process of building that and then wrapping it up so people feel like it's done. You know, you don't end in the middle of your story.
I love that. You know, Emily there that we just saw on the TV, she is the co-producer of this show and the director of the show.
Yes, she is.
She does a fabulous job.
Quite a talented producer.
Yeah, she is. So she's one of the many great people would work with if they came here and volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was starting to say before, as I got a little out of whack there, a lot of our volunteers and our staff, they submit their videos for awards.
Yeah.
And, you know, we do really well in that. And those awards are given out at a conference that you went to.
Yes.
But there's a whole lot more that goes on at the conference. Can you tell us, I wasn't able to go this year, can you tell me what actually happens there and what was going on?
It was Best of the Northwest that was held this year in Tukwila, Washington.
Tukwila.
So right up the five.
Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful Tukwila, Washington, right next to the mall. But it was, they had just different community access stations from around the Northwest region.
Right, it's the region, yeah.
Television stations.
Alaska.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
not this year, but they've had folks from Canada come down as well. And this year they actually added radio as well,
okay.
community radio. So what we were basically talking about was outreach and what does new media look like? How do we combine community radio and community television? Because we're both doing the same thing for the community, just one without picture. So that was the crux of the conference. It was a couple days, great food, great people. There we are during one of our sessions there. And
it was a good experience.
It was a great experience. Yeah. It was a lot of fun to talk to different folks from around the region and just kind of get an idea of what there's the board members, Alan Bouchong, he's from Salem, and Andrea Capere, who is one of the board members of ACM. There's our very own Jennifer.
And sitting next to Peter Goodmanson and his lovely wife.
Absolutely.
Peter used to be a trainer here and a producer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see them. There's Jen making a presentation of some kind.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got up and talked too, didn't you?
You know, there was just such great conversation that was going on. And Jen was speaking to, there's me and Andrea.
Yeah.
I look like I'm 3.
Yeah, you look right.
But there was like I said, such great conversation. It's just a really good opportunity to get with other stations and see what they're doing right, see what we're doing wrong, see how we can do what we do better, especially in this environment where media is changing as rapidly as it is.
And that's the Alliance for Community Media puts
that
on.
That is the Alliance for Community Media,
Good. Well, that's fun stuff. So you said we had several people that actually won awards, and
we did. Lots of awards and lots of honorable mentions.
Isn't that
absolutely
great? That's so great. And I think that you're going to be coming back, or you're going to stay here and talk with a couple of our producers and find out, about their awards that they got. And I'm going to sneak off for a little bit while you talk to them.
Okay.
But while we are,
I can hold down the fort, Monica.
I have no doubt that you can, Tosh. I have great faith in you. But while we're changing out here, we have some excerpts, don't we, from the...
So we do.
We'll roll that clip and see if we can see some of the excerpts of the award-winning video that was submitted.
All right.
Okay.
In this country, we often pride ourselves on our individualism. However, this individualism can isolate us, and it's a pretty unproductive mode for effecting change. For many of us, our response to individualism is to come together. In a nutshell, civic engagement is community involvement. It's that something that brings us all together to resolve problems that impact each one of us. We see the need for change, and by acting together, we can be the change.
But where did this whole notion come from? The Frenchman, Alexis de Tocqueville, way back in the 1830s, when our democracy was still young, provided one of the most insightful commentaries about American society ever written.
Hi, we're the Walking School Bus.
We walk it, we rock it, never gonna stop it.
We rock it.
We rock the walk to school. We'll be walking to our school when we come. Honk, honk. We'll be walking to our school 'cause it's fun. Honk, honk. We'll be walking to our school because it's epic cool. We'll be walking to our school 'cause it's fun. Woo-hoo!
I have to talk. No, I have to talk because more like squawking, like a bunch of chickens. Oh, crap. That's what it is. You know what?
A bunch of chickens.
Why don't you, well then show me that you hear me, because we've been having this conversation.
Oh my goodness, I am hearing you. You can't see me popping Tylenol. Every time I hear you, I need another Tylenol.
You don't care about those kids at all. You don't
kids?
care
Those
about
are your kids.
Is there food in the kitchen? You know that our
I don't know,
daughter
look in the
is
thing.
trying to make eggs because
That's
there's
what she's
nothing.
trying to do?
There's nothing in the house.
I didn't know that's what she was trying to do.
That money.
That's what she was trying to do?
Can you smell it?
Man, I smell it all right,
Yeah.
Smells like something I stepped in the other day.
Yo, what did you step in?
Well, man, when I was doing what I needed to do.
You know what? I don't want to hear your story.
Well, you gonna hear it.
Why don't you just...
Yeah, see, now you always want to talk, but you don't want to hear. So
no,
that's your
I
problem.
don't. Well, no, I want to hear.
No,
you
wanna hear?
tell me. You tell me.
Tell what you want to do.
What
do
you
you want me
did
to
with
tell
that money.
you?
You tell me
I
why
did what I
we
needed
have
to do
it.
with the money.
You tell me why our kids are going without food.
Voting is a big deal and one of the most powerful things you can do. But deep down, people vote because...
I vote because it's my right and my responsibility.
Because if I want my voice to be heard, the first thing I must do is vote.
Because democracy only works if you participate.
I vote for more bike lanes.
For cleaner streams.
For more jobs.
For my family.
I vote to end wasteful government spending.
I don't know. I wasn't really sure what to expect.
Jennifer Dines and I schemed up this idea to have a music video camp for girls.
A big motivator for this camp is just to get a bunch of girls to have fun, learn technology.
I was expecting a lot of middle schoolers and like bratty teenagers, but it turns out that a lot of the kids were very dedicated to learning. My dream job is really to become a filmmaker.
I actually play Ace of Base in my car and TLC Crazy Sexy Cool in my car. I have a 6-disc changer, so it works well because not everyone needs to know that those are in my car.
Not a lot of young people get an opportunity to come into a studio, get their hands on cameras and editing equipment.
And to be able to like think creatively, come up with an idea and actually execute it and then watch it together.
So I've learned how to change the lighting and how to like zoom in, zoom out, and how you focus on maybe one object and maybe the background is unfocused or the foreground is unfocused.
Lots of jobs that you'll do in the future have to do with working with other people, and I think that's a really important skill to learn, as well as just being able to make art your own.
Create a shot list, how to plan everything out, how to write it out to make sense.
When you're focusing on a topic, you always want to stay on that topic and not get distracted.
We thought that we could create an environment where it was just girls. Sometimes girls have the tendency, not all, but some have the tendency to sort of take a secondary role.
Welcome back to The Pulse. It is I, Taj. Monica has left us for a little bit, so I could talk to John and Seth here, our wonderful staff producers, educators, equipment room managers, and just magic makers.
Wow. That's good.
No pressure.
Yeah.
But we just watched your documentary. We're going to jump right into it. We were talking about the Best of the Northwest and some of the awards that we won, some of the honorable mentions. And we just watched a documentary that you did. Mm-hmm. So I just want you to talk about that real quick, and then we'll get onto that list about some of the honors that we received. So the documentary for for the music video camp for girls, that was you, sir.
Yes. That was my first week in. So that's actually, I just started at MetroEast and like, oh, by the way, can you shoot this documentary? And I have a lot of background in that. So I just kind of jumped in, and for me, I felt like it was like I had to prove myself or something. I was like amongst giants. So
yeah, that's right. You were a newbie on staff, and
so I was like a little wigged out, but I thought it was a great first experience working here. Like I got to like meet everybody and put media together. Got to use Final Cut 10, which I was a little dubious about, and I don't know. Tony shot the interviews, and Keith and I shot B-roll, and it was really fun, and it was a great introduction to like what we do here.
Nice.
Which is like empower people.
Yeah.
And especially young women and women in general are so unrepresented in the filmmaking industry. One of the stats I've heard is only 5% of Hollywood directors are female.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's like, this is what I started working, and I was like, this is what I want to be doing. And I was so happy.
Well, we are so happy to have you here on staff, period.
Thank you.
And again, I don't know, I'm just going to hold this up one more time while I'm talking, because I don't know if folks were able to see this, but this is your Best of the Northwest Award, and this is for the documentary in the category of empowerment. So that's what that award is, and congratulations on that, Seth, and the team.
I have to say thanks to Jennifer Dines and
Absolutely.
Barb Myers helped produce it too. And plus this smells excellent, kind of a good smoky from the engraving. Yeah.
It does. I almost want to slap a rack of ribs on that, get that nice smoky.
Yeah, some of them are more burnt than others. Yeah. It's a unique
So we're going to move on down the line before this conversation completely devolves into food. Do you have a list of winners?
Oh, do I have a list of winners?
Well, or some of the, I hate saying winners, but you know what? We can brag a little bit about ourselves. We're
we can do that. We can do that. So the Northwest region is like Alaska, Alberta, British Columbia, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. So, that's a lot of places. Do we have a list of winners? Yes, we do have a list of winners. Empowerment, obviously. Informative feature. We won that one. Produced by youth. PSAs, promos, and station ideas. We did that one too.
And we saw that clip there. That was I Vote Because.
And shows for children. And then we have some honorable mentions too for community involvement, documentary, and Making a Difference, shows for children. Oh, we took first and second in shows for children, and studio talk shows. So I mean, all around, it was it was pretty good showing.
Yes, and you did one of the other clips that we saw was the walking school bus, right? That was your hand was in that.
That was an exciting video to make. It was
a fun video.
There's that thing. What do they say? Never work with children and animals. And when you're out with 9 or 10 kids on a regular basis making the walking school bus video, they were great. I got to say, they were great. And there was
Lots of energy.
There was one day we have this beautiful shot, and we have these HD cameras, and Jen and I were out there, and it started to rain so heavily, and you just have these beautiful shots of these huge raindrops falling down, But then I was insistent that we got this Abbey Road shot, so there's the kids walking across.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes, I did notice that. So they were having fun, and you were capturing your cinematic moments.
That's exactly right.
The culmination of those two things resulted in an award.
In Shows for Children, the walking school bus. Yeah, fantastic video.
Well, congratulations on that. So we've got a little bit of a wall here, so those will go up here on our wall. And we also had volunteers that entered. And again, this Best of the Northwest Awards was for staff and volunteers and what have you. So there were a lot of great entries. There was the awards evening at the conference, which unfortunately I wasn't able to make. Oops. Unfortunately, I was not able to make. But Jennifer and Tony were there, and Peter. I want to keep calling him the late great, but that would mean something else. But our former staff member,
that would be
Peter Goodmanson, was there to cheer everybody on at the awards. So it was a really nice situation. So POW Girls and POW Camp mini documentary, that's another Seth piece. You want to tell us about that?
I did not win for any of those.
No, you didn't. But we're going to watch it next.
Okay.
So,
so did you use your formula? Do you
we've got a formula.
Do you have the formula down?
Well, it's always like I start with a hook and then go from there. So
do you use the three-part story structure?
Honestly,
or you just let the magic happen.
Resolve the crisis.
When I edit, what I do is I do a very thorough perusal of the materials, and then I cherry pick. For these shorter pieces, I cherry pick the best quotes. And especially for the POW Girls one, I wanted to be able to have it almost be like one voice across the scape of the whole show. So you'll see a lot of completing people's sentences, we tried to really make it. We wanted it cinematic, so we put it on. Got shot on GH4. We put stuff on the dolly, and we wanted to give the girls their due credit because again, there's not a lot of women.
They worked hard, and they produced a really great piece.
Yeah, they
did a really good job.
What they're doing is awesome. So,
yes. And which they screened at the Hollywood Theater. But we're going to talk about the POW Camp after this segment, and a couple of the girls from POW Camp are here, and Monica will be back, so that'll be a cool thing. So we're actually going to get into the mini documentary for POW Camp that you shot. Now, were you able to make it out to the screening?
I did see the screening.
Nice.
So, and Tony and Tony helped shoot the interviews for that again, and Jen was there. She interviewed people she helped produce, and it was incredible. It was like really good energy there, and it's just I feel like it's the right direction. And those
You make me excited to work here.
So anyway.
I'm so excited. That's good stuff. All right, so let's watch it.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, Emily, let's roll that clip.
We are running a camp to give teenage girls a chance to create films that can be screened at the festival. So there's 14 girls, and we're going to make 2 films over a weekend.
I don't really know many female directors.
You asked me to name one off the top of my head.
I don't even really know.
On a good day, 5% of the industry films are directed by women. That is it.
And so I thought that it was really cool that we were getting this opportunity. I just really wanted to do it. I wanted to learn how to shoot and make film.
It's important for girls to have a space to develop their technical and creative skills.
If you have a goal and you're both truly interested in achieving the goal, then gender shouldn't be an issue.
For the most part, women are portrayed pretty unrealistically, especially with like in magazines, because everything's so photoshopped and unrealistic, and like no real women look like the people in those magazines, and we all know it, but
maybe they need to be portrayed a little more with their beauty behind camera in their creative decisions.
Anyone can be a role model. I just think it's more relatable as a girl when it's a woman, and to see someone and I'm like, well, I could do that. Like, that could be me.
If I can help young girls tell their stories, that's really what my goal is.
I appreciate that because people don't have a lot of patience when it comes to teaching kids.
And they were like having a fun time, you could tell, instead of just like being forced to help us.
Lighting was probably the best part to make the scene look better.
Just like telling stories.
Our ideas coming together, I think, is really cool because the video wouldn't have been what it is unless everyone was here.
Getting to work with other girls and seeing that they have dreams of their own, that inspires me, because I think being able to see other people's dreams is pretty cool.
It's hard. It's a lot more work than I thought it was. Editing is really hard. It was really cold and I didn't really have a good jacket. And I'm just doing credits, and credits is really hard too.
So now I think I kind of have a better idea as to what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm making these videos.
And by the end, they've made a movie, and it's the most empowering part of the process.
Young girls want to share their stories, and we're giving them the platform to have their voices heard.
Walk away having been heard.
Going forward, I think there definitely should be more women in film.
I'm so excited.
It's just gonna be like a cool feeling to see it all together.
I never thought I would be getting to see something I worked on the big screen at such a young age.
I'm just really grateful that I've had this opportunity to be able to be a part of POW Girls.
I know I can do it now. I just know I have it in me.
I love those behind-the-scenes documentaries. Those are great. It shows how much fun you girls were having.
Yeah.
So welcome to the set of Community Hotline. It's nice to have you here, back again. So you're Ann Hanlon and Sarah Bonilla. Welcome. So tell me a little bit about yourselves, if you can, for a minute. You, Ann, are from Washington, state of Washington, from Battleground area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were here for the camp for a week, correct?
Yes.
So what was your experience? I mean, how did you feel about the time you spent here?
It was great. Yeah, it was. I learned a lot, like with the technical parts of the cameras and settings and stuff like that.
Is it something you had experience with prior to coming here?
Not really.
No?
I'd done a lot of making stories and stuff, but I've never worked with cameras and editing softwares before.
Wow. So how about you, Sarah? You're from this area, Park Rose High School, is that right? Yeah, okay. So what was your experience? Had you had experience with media before as far as creating it?
No, I haven't. I've written little stories and thought, oh, this would be cool for a little film, but I've never done anything.
But it seemed like it was a lot of fun, and the camaraderie between all the girls that were that were present was good. How do you feel about it now that you've gone through this? How do you feel about? Do you think this is something you'll use in your future? Is it just like kind of a hobby thing for you, or do you think it's something you might pursue like a little more seriously?
I think it's definitely something I'd like to pursue as a career.
Really?
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself? What if you were just best scenario? What would you like to do?
I don't know. Working with like big Hollywood films is always the goal.
The goal, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the big golden ring that you're grasping for, huh?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd be happy doing anything in film industry. So.
And there's a lot of different aspects to it, and I think a lot of people don't realize it's not all just being the camera person. What kinds of things did you do in the camp that you didn't even expect to do? What was a surprise to you?
I did the talent for the film I worked on, and before I came, I was like, no camera, no, like,
you didn't want to
I just want to like
here.
write it, and that's it. Like.
So you saw yourself behind the scenes,
Yes.
not in front of the camera.
Yeah, exactly, and I did.
And you did great, didn't you? I mean, I love the documentaries or the little films that were done. They were fun and they were insightful, and it was really cool to watch them. You didn't have that color hair then, did you?
No, I had dark brown hair, and I had my glasses on. So I was watching that little film, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't
Who is
look
that?
like me anymore. See,
Wait a minute. Yeah.
She's in disguise now, so.
Yeah. Got too famous.
All the people asking for autographs.
Hiding from the paparazzi.
Yeah, exactly.
Seth was talking earlier on the show about that only 5% of women are actually film producers in the film industry. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's important to get more women involved in film, and why?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think we should see more because I think women have maybe different perspectives than men
agree
would.
With that, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'd be cool to explore those ideas a little more.
Yeah, it's a good way to get your voice out about what things that you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. Are there certain things that, Sarah, that you could think of that you would want to explore as a filmmaker if you were to take that as a career?
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to, I always think of things in shots now. Like when I'm out and about and I'll just see something, I'll be like, oh man, this moment, the lighting, everything. Like if I just had a camera, I could capture this.
So you're going to have to start.
Yeah,
just happen to have one here.
Exactly. Have one in your backpack.
Yeah. So it kind of changes your perspective on how you look at things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you didn't take this as a career, you did something totally different, do you think the experience would have still been worthwhile?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. What about your relationship with the other girls that were in the camp? Did you form any bonds with them? Was it?
Yeah, me and Serena, the other actress that was in the film with me, we had this shot that was overhead, and we were laying in the grass, and it was freezing that day.
Is that the one where it shows upside down?
Yes, I think it actually was in the little.
And it was cold?
Yeah, it was freezing, and we were sharing a yoga mat and a blanket, and we were laying there shivering.
Oh.
It took them forever to get the shot right.
It's a long process, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was longer than you expected it to be, as far as.
Yeah.
There's a lot of waiting around trying to get to your scene or to set up the shots. It's a lot more involved than a lot of people think. So the bond between the women was good, and now I understand there's going to be another camp coming up this summer, an advanced camp for the women that were involved in the POW Girls. So are you planning on being involved in that this year?
Yeah.
Good. And I'm hoping that most of the same group comes back for that, and it'll have a little different feel to it, a little more advanced. So that'll be good. Now the experience of being on the big screen, because they were talking about the festival itself. There's a POW Fest where there's women filmmakers from all over the area that are showing their films, but the POW Girls is kind of a segment of that, and it's new this year, I believe. And I went to it, and the theater was just about full. It was at the Hollywood Theater, which is a really big deal, and I think we have some pictures from that too. It was really cool. I was impressed with how many people showed up, and like Seth said, the energy of the place was really good. There you are. There's your group there.
Yeah.
I mean, how exciting to see POW Fest, POW Girls up there on the marquee.
Yeah,
that's kind of a big deal, Yeah, that was a good group. And Okay, so there they are, just people kind of checking out. They were checking out some of our equipment that we had there. We were really pleased. MetroEast was pleased to be part of that. Jennifer on the right. The Hollywood Theater is such an icon in Portland anyway.
It's beautiful.
Really
yeah,
beautiful.
It's really a cool venue. Checking out, hanging around, waiting to go watch the videos.
Yeah. It was so nerve-wracking.
I know, the
Now,
Q&A.
so this was a Q&A afterwards.
Yes, this was.
Tell me a little bit about that. I had to leave just before that, so tell me how that all went down. What kinds of questions did you get, and how did you feel about answering those questions?
We got a lot of career, like, would you carry this career? Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about the experience of the camp and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. It was a really nice experience, I think, for you to be able to do that. And that's a big screen at the Hollywood Theater.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So what was it like seeing your own face on the screen?
It was a lot weirder than I expected. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even like look for like the first 10 seconds. I was like, I can't watch it.
I know, just kind of like
Like
avert
this,
the
looking
eyes.
at
Yeah, I
fingers?
literally was. I was like, no.
And how many times have you watched this since then?
Probably like, yeah, a lot.
A lot.
A lot,
Yeah.
because all my family's like, let me see.
Well, yeah, this is a big deal. How about your friends? How do they react to the fact that you got to do this and that you're now a filmmaker? I mean, really, you are.
Yeah.
Did you get much response from friends of yours? I mean, what did they think about
Yeah,
it?
they all thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Well, you did some really great work, and we'll look forward to seeing you here, this summer and go on from there. So, tell me, you told me a little bit about what you didn't expect. What did you not expect about the camp itself and the experience?
I actually wasn't expecting how easy it was going to be to work with all the other girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I know sometimes the whole teamwork scenario doesn't work out. But
you seem to gel really well from the.
yes, everyone listened to everyone's ideas and considered it, and it was really nice.
Good. Well, I think we have some excerpts from your video, so I think we should take a look at those, and the audience can see for themselves what they missed. So let's roll that clip now.
Dear Sarah, how are you? Your grandfather and I miss you. We hope you enjoyed your birthday. Your mother tells me that you have been having a rough time lately, and we want you to know that we are here for you.
fun was that? That's great stuff. So that was part of yours and part of yours. Who came up with the ideas for these videos? Did you do it as a group, or was it one person kind of pitched the idea?
Yeah, it was mainly just the big group collaboration.
Yeah. Wow, it was really cool to watch that and just the experience of it. And yours with the it's kind of like the conversation project we were talking about earlier in the show, how technology has affected our lives so much, and then you come in with your old school book there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. And yours with the letters. Now tell me about how that came about, how you came up with that concept and how it maybe changed through the progression of it.
I came up with a really loosely idea, and it was going to be about a grandma giving a girl a record, and then she plays it, and then we were like, no, and then some other people were pitching ideas, and we're like, how about we use letters? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea, and then it kind of just grew.
So it just evolved and changed as you went through the whole process. Did you expect that to be like that? I mean,
yeah, well, yes and no. I wasn't expecting like everyone to just be totally on board with it, but everyone was like, yes, I love this, and
it's good collaboration,
great.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't think it always works like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We're lucky.
I'm sure it's like my way or the highway, but
yeah.
How about you? What was it? You said the teamwork and everybody getting along was kind of a surprise to you. So, what was the hardest thing about filming that video?
Oh, I don't know. For me, I had trouble acting on the camera.
Oh, yeah?
I've done a little bit of theater before, but I've never had to, avoid, looking at the camera and all that stuff.
Yeah, because if you're supposed to pretend like you're actually in this.
The camera isn't there. And it was hard.
It's not like a talk show where you can actually talk to the camera.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So, So, did you find this challenged you besides just learning how to act in front of a camera? Did it challenge you in other ways? I mean, did you feel like there was any personal growth or anything about you that kind of changed through the experience?
I definitely gained a lot more confidence in myself. Yeah.
Nice. In what way? I mean, just being in front of the camera, or just working with others, or what? Can you elaborate?
All of it, yeah.
Yeah?
All of it.
Those are certainly good things.
Yeah, public speaking has been easier and, stuff like that.
Yeah, that can be really difficult. How about you, Sarah?
Yeah, definitely a lot of confidence, just being able to talk to people and just bringing up ideas and just pretty much anything.
Voicing opinions.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And that was hard for me as a high school student too, because it was hard to think that your ideas were worthy of putting out there. But then when you do and you find out, I really do have something to add, and doing it through film is a really kind of a special way to do it, because you can really express yourself in a, not have to just sit there and say it. You're showing it through different media. Yeah, I like that. So the videos that you did, how many girls were there? About a dozen or so in the group?
14.
14.
Yeah.
And how many different videos were created? Do you remember?
Just the two.
It was just the two. Okay. I was trying to think if there was a third one or not.
Yeah.
So, but you were in different groups, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So did you work together at all during this? You didn't really.
Not really.
No, I never saw her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We just never we maybe passed by each other on the side.
Yeah, we'd wave on filming day, we walked by each other, but that was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you had, roughly half a dozen girls in each group, and those were the ones you learned to bond with, and everybody did everything. So what were some of the other jobs that people did besides acting? What were some of the jobs you did as part of the group?
The lighting was something that I'd never really thought about before.
And it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a big deal.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. What do you learn about that as far as lighting? What kind of a difference does it make in a shot?
It outlines the characters. It can make it more dramatic, or
So it just kind of sets the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something like this, like a talk show, it's going to be set lit differently than you would do, some sort of video about, whatever it is you're doing. Outside is different than inside.
Yeah.
How about you? What did you? What other positions did you work on? Did you do anything else besides?
I helped with lighting a little bit.
You did?
Yeah, and I didn't know that it was going to be so hard, because every time we'd shoot another scene, we'd have to change the lighting, and so we were constantly changing.
Right, and you had some outdoor scenes too.
Yeah,
so and that can be affected by the weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can make a big difference. What about directing? There were other people that did the directing, did you do any of the editing, or was that mostly people from MetroEast do that?
Yeah, all the girls did the editing. Yeah.
That's a big job.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a whole day like sitting there on a computer.
Yeah.
It was great.
But, yeah, it's fun. You can really really express yourself through that. Yeah. Would you encourage other girls to go through something like this to try to create media?
Without a doubt.
Yeah,
oh, definitely.
Do you think you're going to go ahead and use your own cameras, and even if it's on your phone, because people can have really good cameras on their phones now? Will you go and like maybe this summer do some video? Can we expect something from either of you?
Yes,
probably. Yeah.
Well, before we go, tell me if you could just do a video about anything in the world, what is something you think you would want to explore? I know I didn't prepare you for this.
But, yeah.
Do you have something you're passionate about, or other hobbies that you have, or things that are important to you? No?
Yeah.
Think about that then.
It would be cool to do like a story, like following a character, like a single character, because there's a lot of like action films.
Yes,
and
there are.
I mean they're great. I love the action films.
They're a lot of work.
Yes.
And it requires a lot of people.
Yeah.
But as a woman yourself, just doing your own video, you can explore the smaller little things and take the time to explore the characters. I think that would be a good avenue to take. Well, we really look forward to seeing you here in this summer, and it'll be very fun. It's going to be a collaboration with the Portland Kitchen, which is a nonprofit that teaches culinary skills to students. And you, Sarah, have been involved with that in the past, right? So you went through their whole program.
I
A good
did.
program?
Yes, it's wonderful.
Good, good. I took a tour of the facility there and talked with some of the people that are running it, and it looked like a lot of fun. So you'll actually be working with them as they will be like your client. You'll be creating a video for them. So that's kind of taking it up a notch, and will give you a better feel for what it's like in the real world. Yeah, so what do you look forward to in that? Anything in particular, or just getting in there and doing it?
Yeah. It'll be fun, like trying to work with a client and stuff like that.
Yeah, make them happy.
Yes.
Yeah, because if they're paying your bills, then
yes.
Yeah, you gotta do that. Any last words for us? Well, thanks both of you for being here, Ann and Sarah. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching Community Hotline. We have workshops here where we teach anybody. It doesn't matter how old or young you are or what your skill level is in media. You don't ever have to have even picked up a camera. We'd be happy to show you how to do it and learn how to make your own videos. Learn how to make your own television shows, and we'll put them on the air for you. So check us out online, and if you have questions, just give us a call. I'm Monica Weitzel. You've been watching the Pulse version of Community Hotline. We'll see you next week.